Okay, so I'm here today with Shannon, Luke and Logan from Igntion Studios. We're working on a Windows 7 game. So first off, why don't you guys tell us a little bit about what you do and how this all started?
I'll take it over to Luke.
Okay. Well, I suppose we make games, obviously, because it's a small market. We're just starting out. We're a sort of fairly new studio. We started, or we're all graduates from Quantum, and we started out. We sort of ended up finishing Quantum and then looking around the industry and discovering, okay, it's a bit quiet at the moment. So we decided to band together. We started with Logan, myself, and another person who's not here, Jared, and we just decided, let's get together and start building something, and we went from there. And then as time moved on, Shannon came in to the business on board, and we've gone from there. That's where we're sort of at.
But the main decision, I think, for the guys actually starting up the game was to see, you know, they'd worked so long in Quantum, we've worked as groups before doing games, but it was to see whether we could actually develop a game, or to see if the guys could develop a game, not having that set-driven structure that, you know, a college has. So they wanted to be able to see if they could work together and actually produce something and have a polished, you know, nicely polished piece by the end of it. So yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I think like before we started, we at least myself and Luke had been working on other games for other indie developers, and we thought, why don't we just give it a shot ourselves? Kind of have free reign on creativity and how we wanted things.
Nice. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're working on?
Top secret, we can't tell you. We can. Yes, we're developing a Windows 7 game, and it's a bit unusual.
Yeah, we'll get to that a bit later.
We will get to that. We're developing a Windows 7 game. It's a little mini golf game called Monkey Mini Golf. I suppose it's been about 6 months in the making, something like that.
Since December.
Yeah, since December. So that's where we're at, and we're just about at the point where we're going to release it. So
about a week away.
About a week away.
So crunch time, right?
We are crunching pretty hard, so we haven't had a lot of sleep, but we're getting there. And so that's been quite a good experience. That development cycle for us has been really just our first step to learning it. And you know, other companies like Voxel Agent and Brawson and so on, they've all helped us along the way. I think the indie industry is really great for that. You know, they actually help support us to try and shortcut us to, you know, to developing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's been really a big saviour for us, and getting into things like IGDA and things like that. Great support. So I think without that, we wouldn't be this far ahead. You know.
All right, the inevitable question. Before we get to the development side of things, why Windows 7? As you know, Android and iPhone, most people have those, and they've gone with the Windows option.
Yeah, we find it hard to find people with Windows 7 devices. It's getting better. It's getting better.
Slowly.
If I was to step back 6 months ago, when we were coming together, I think that we had a lot of criteria about building this game. When one thing we looked at was platform, and I think, you know, as we were starting out, we needed to become either noticed as a company or noticed as a group to say this is what we could do. And I think when we started out, that's what we looked at, was the amount of apps, the amount of games on those two platforms you just mentioned, Android and iPhone. You know, heaps get produced every year. Windows 7, when we came, I think it had 2,000, 3,000 apps. We thought, well, there's an opportunity to at least get, okay, it's a smaller pond, just to get noticed. So we weren't interested necessarily in selling the game. We were more interested in getting noticed as a company, as a team, to say this is what we're capable of. So that's probably one of our primary drivers. The second thing was the skill sets that we'd all had varied. Well, I'd done some iPhone, iPad development and stuff. You know, the other programmer hadn't done some of that stuff, so we had gaps. So we went with something that was faster to get up to speed.
Because you guys already had the skills in that area as well. It wasn't a new system you had to learn. So
no, that's right. So, I mean, my background was all C#.net. Done it for years, but that's another reason why we chose that platform. Also, luckily enough, a couple of months later, you know, Nokia's come on board, so that helps spur things along. Maybe, you know, it's all still a very new market. But that was probably a core reason.
Just one that was easier to get noticed in for us, because like the guys said, they weren't too worried about earning cash to start off with. So we thought if we're not, you know, worried about that, then the thing we should be doing is trying to get noticed. And it's a lot easier to get noticed in something that has only 3,000 apps than something that's got 400,000.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so you're getting towards release now. Obviously, right now you're just thinking about getting this game out there, getting it working. You guys thought about what's next after this?
Oh, world domination? No, well, that's a long way to go. Well, I guess that's the thing. We're sort of looking at, and we're also open to things like apps. So we might even look at doing an app in between, a small app. I know it's. But I think we're also looking at things like potentially porting it to Android as well.
Okay.
So
depending on popularity, I think
it
if
depends on how
it
it goes.
takes off nicely, we'd like to port it over to Android and see how it goes.
Mm-hmm.
Just in a busier market, it's good, you know, sort of think it and see how it goes. So that'll be nice to see what it does.
And certainly we've had a lot of people say, "Oh, can I get this on my Android?" And they hold up their iPhone or Android, and we sort of just go, "No." But we know, we can do it. We can do it, and I think we've certainly got to look at that. So I think whatever game we make next, I mean, this one was a bit of a test for us, and certainly as an indie developers just starting out, and even then graduates, we're just testing our abilities, we're testing the industry, we're testing how it all works, we're trying to gather all that experience. We'll be doing a big analysis of that as to how we move forward for our next title. And certainly, you know, whatever game we create, we want to make a game that people want to play. It's as simple as that. We've all got games we love to play, and our favourite games, and they're the best, and every other game is terrible. But we know that at the end of the day, you know, the device, the game, what we're doing is for what people want to play. It's about the user. So we keep that pretty much at the forefront.
Perfect.